Oop. Hey everybody. Um, I've got everything pretty well prepped to get you going on this pork loin and this garlic cheese spinach. There's several steps to the garlic cheese spinach though. So I did go ahead and I made the Jello up and put it in the refrigerator. And I'm going to tell you what it is. You can use any flavor of a small package of gelatin you want. It can be, I use lime today. It can be the strawberry, it can be the orange, lemon, whatever you want. Because when you take, you have to stir it take a half a cup of hot water to that gelatin pack, and you need to stir it with a whisk for a good couple of minutes to make sure you get that gelatin completely dissolved. Because if you don't, you're going to have that gel stuff at the bottom of your Jello dish, and it's that thick stuff. It's not going to taste good, and that's the secret to doing that. Is making sure that's what it says on the package. Make sure you stir it until it's well dissolved for about 2 minutes. And then I took a package of cream cheese. I softened it, actually put it in the microwave and softened it, and I put it in with that. And you can take and use a food processor and do it in there if you want to, or a blender. I just whisk the one I did, because you don't add any sugar or anything. It's the Jello, that half a cup, like I said, that you dissolve it in half a cup of hot water. And then you're going to add the stick of softened cream cheese in there, and you're going to blend that some. And then you're going to add another half a cup of, I use some warm water. I didn't use cold water, but I used warm water. And then I took a cup of ice and stirred in there to get it to where it would start thickening and cool down. Then I took a very small can of, couldn't find any crushed pineapples, so I took a very small can of the pineapple chunks and juice and all and put in there. And it will set up, but it reminds me, it's kind of neat the way it tastes. It kind of reminds you of sherbet. If you get the strawberry, it's going to taste strawberry. The lemon, it's going to taste like lemon, lime. I mean, and so on. It just orange. I mean, that's just what it reminds me of with some fruit. It's just a little different thing, and you can put a little dollop of Cool Whip on it, or whipping cream, whatever you want, or even a little dollop of sour cream would even be good on it. But anyway, I have my oven. I'm going to preheat it to 375. And what I did with this pork loin, it's a little over a 2-pound pork loin, and it was already seasoned with it said apple bacon and apple cured. So I took and I added some rosemary and garlic to it, and some applesauce, and I took and I kind of rubbed that in and sauteed it, and I actually took and put it in some olive oil and just sealed that in. Then I took it and put it in this dish here to put it in the oven. You can put it in the crock pot, but it's going to take a little longer. And I just decided to do it like this. I put some more apple juice, and then I have some sprigs of rosemary I laid on the top, because it's already got some garlic and rosemary in there. But I use apple juice and applesauce. Also, this is a very old-fashioned. This was my grandmother's. This is a garlic press, and this is what, I don't know what they look like now, but this is the one I've got. So anyway, this is what I used for the ingredients that we're going to do over here for the cream spinach. So I'm going to go ahead and put this pork loin. Let me show you. You can see this is what it looks like here. I took and I seared it off, and I got it like that. You can kind of see what it looks like. My foil blew out of my pan there. Okay, I'm going to cover it with this foil. 375, and it says per pound at 375. It said 40 minutes. I think that's putting a little bit too much, but I'm going to keep a real close eye on it. And I'll see if the Jello is set up enough to show you by the time I'm done with the garlic cheese spinach to go over that with, or at least show you the finishing touch of it set up. So anyway, you can buy just some bacon ends and pieces. It doesn't have to be any expensive bacon. And I took some and I cooked it, probably about 12 ounces. I took and cooked the bacon off, and you're going to save all of your bacon grease, because your bacon grease is what you're going to use to saute your onion, your garlic, and your sliced mushrooms. And I have two, they were small to medium onions that I took, and they are sliced paper thin. I did do this with the sharp knife. I have a mandolin that I got years ago, and I cut myself with the first time I used it. My husband taped it, put it up, and I don't even know where it's at, to be honest with you. But I have a pretty sharp knife, so these are, I got them pretty paper thin with this knife I've got. And then an 8-ounce package of the button top mushrooms. You can use more because they're going to cook down. It's just whatever you prefer on that. And I've got 5 cloves of garlic that I run through the press. I have a can of evaporated milk here, the larger can, 12 ounce of evaporated milk. I have some half and half if I need it. I also have a package of Parmesan cheese and a package of Italian blend cheese. And with your spinach, I didn't use fresh spinach because it's a friend of mine's recipe, and I'll shout out to her. It's Miss T's recipe. And she used the frozen spinach, but she said to make sure that, you wouldn't believe the water in this. I was squeezing on this since 2 o'clock to get all the moisture out. And you want to make sure you get all that moisture out as much as possible, because it's going to pop and everything, and you don't want your cream and your cheese all watery. But that's what I've done, and I've got it dry. I've taken it and just push it through and just get all that water out. Just keep doing it and keep checking it till you can't. Last I checked, I didn't even get a tablespoon out. So I figure it's about as dry as I'm going to get it. So anyway, I did have this in a skillet. I moved it to a pan a little deeper to saute in, because I'm going to be putting the spinach in, and the cheese is making the sauce. So I thought I'd just get a deeper one. So I'm going to start you're going to just saute these vegetables is what you're going to do. And again, that's 2 small to medium onions, an 8-ounce package of the button mushrooms, and everything is sliced, really paper thin. And then there's 5 to 6 cloves of pressed garlic in here. And she did say not to use any, that's the bacon grease from the bacon, not to use any additional salt or pepper, because you're going to pick up the taste from the bacon and stuff. And between the bacon and the cheeses, you've got plenty of salt in here. She did say don't add any. So anyway, I'm going to start sauteing these. And I told you what the ingredients are here. And I want to go over with you a little bit about some of the coming up lives. The one I'm going to do for the ham salad, if you want to cook along with me, you're more than welcome to, because I'm going to cook all of that from scratch on, because it's ham salad. And what you can do to prep for that, you can go ahead and run your whatever amount of ham you want to use through a food processor or a food chopper, and have it ready. Have some pickle relish, mayonnaise. I have some Dijon mustard. And that's about all, some salt and pepper. And then you can go ahead and boil however much macaroni salad you want to make. Go ahead and boil and cool your macaroni, and I will walk you through what I use in mine. And it's going to be dry mustard. It's going to be paprika. It's going to be a little apple cider vinegar, a little bit of sugar. It's going to have mayonnaise. Let me see. You can I'm going to just cube up some cheese. You can use the bacon bits in it if you want, or you can just use a little bit of your ham. Just cube it up and you can put it in there. You don't have to put any meat in there at all. And I always put a small package of frozen peas in there. And that's what's going to consist in the, with some other stuff I'm going to put in there. And that's what's going to consist of that. Then I'm going to do a 5-bean salad. because you're always wanting some side dishes, and it's going to have a vinegar and oil base to it. You want to get a can of red beans, a can of black beans, a can of pinto, drain all of them and rinse them thoroughly. A can of cut green beans. So there you've got your pinto, your black, your red, your green beans. And actually, I call it a 5-bean pie. Actually, the fifth ingredient, I use either a can of frozen, or I mean a small package of frozen corn, or I'll even take and do a couple of ears of fresh corn if I can get it pretty reasonably priced, or just a can of regular sweet corn that's been drained. And it's going to be mixing those. We're going to be putting a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion in there. It's going to be a vinegar and oil. It's going to have some sugar in it, and a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion powder. It's just going to have a few things in it, but I'm just giving you the basic just for that. That's for the ham salad, for the bean salad, and for the pasta salad. And I think I put one more dish on there. I can't really remember what it was, but I'm also thinking about making, it's actually a pretzel salad, and you use crushed pretzels for the crust that you make up, and then it has a layer of a cream cheese and powdered sugar layer in it. And then you're gonna take some strawberries and slice them up you're gonna use the strawberry Jello, and you're gonna put that in and let it start getting pretty thick. I mean, thick but not set. And that's going to go on top of that. But you're going to keep, of course, the cream cheese and the pretzel layer in the refrigerator as you do them, so it stays cold. And then, like I said, you're going to separate, and we'll do that probably first. And it can be setting up the Jello with the strawberries, can be getting, where it's pretty not well set, but it's just, pretty thick. And then that's going to go on the top of that. And the only thing I do after it's set up, I let it sit in the refrigerator for 2 to 4 hours. The only thing I ever serve maybe is a little dollop of Loin on it, or again, you can use a little dollop of sweet and sour cream with a little touch of vanilla in it. I'm trying to think of what other kind of a side. If y'all have any suggestions, we'll do that. Then the next one I have scheduled is for the cheese enchiladas. Again, if you all would like to cook along with me on that, I am going to make the sauce from scratch. It can cool while we're, and you just need to have quite a few, just different spices, nothing in particular, just regular spices, like oregano, there's cumin, there's chili powder, there's onion powder, garlic powder, there's a little bit of sugar, there's salt, pepper, just a little tiny bit of tomato paste, chicken bouillon, and we're going to make that, and we're going to make a roux with the butter and the flour, and then that's going to be the thickening, and that's going to be set off to cool. And you can get the corn tortillas. I do shop a lot at Walmart's. Don't get the Great Value brand. They fall apart. Get a little better brand on those. And while the sauce is cooling, I'm going to use 3 cheeses. I'm going to have there's a Mexican cheese, there is some cream cheese, and there's a sharp grated cheese that I use in there. And that's going to be, I will go ahead and explain that a little bit more to you when we do the ham salad and stuff. I'm going to have that done because that does take a little while sitting there crumbling that round piece of cheese up and stuff. I'll show that to you too when we do the ham salad on that. And then, because you have to take those corn tortillas and some oil on the stove, and you have to fry them just a little bit so you can roll your cheese and make your enchiladas. And by the time you get those rolled and done, because by the time you get those done, you get them blotted and you get everything lined up, your sauce is going to be cool, and you're going to take and kind of dip your cooled corn tortillas in the sauce and roll them, and then they're basically just baked. But I will do a side of a guacamole salad and a little bit of pico de gallo. I will do that with that. So anyway, I will let you know, like I said, the next one I think is on the 10th. So we do the ham salad and stuff. I think that one's scheduled for the 13th. Okay, these are starting to get cooked down and they're starting to get, soft. Really smells good too. But I'm gonna let them just cook a little bit more in here. And like I said, this is an 8-ounce package of the button mushroom sliced in. I've got 2 small to medium sized onions. Sliced in. If you have a mandolin and you feel safe using it, slice them paper thin and leave them in little rings. And put them in, and about 5 to 6 cloves of fresh pressed garlic. And like I'm saying, the rings, well, they're coming apart a little bit in here, but they're really, really, really paper thin. They just go. And then this is, again, I use them, you get the bacon ends and pieces, cook them, save your bacon, and you're doing this literally in the bacon grease is what you're doing this in. Don't add any salt or pepper. You're not going to need it between the bacon and these cheeses. It's going to be, she told me it's plenty salty and got enough flavor to it. So anyway, I'm letting this cook down. And like I said, again, on that pork tenderloin, it's a 2 and a little over a 2 pound, I think it was 2 pound, 3 ounce. And it was already applewood smoked and had the apple bacon cured on it. And that's what it was seasoned with. So I just took and got some garlic and rosemary, and I took and seared it off in a little bit of olive oil. With that rosemary and garlic, don't burn it, but just kind of, where you get the oil infused. And I seared that pork tenderloin, or the pork loin off in that. And then I took and put the applesauce and apple juice for it to bake in. And like I said, it said 375, and it said to allow 35 to 45 minutes per pound. I didn't think it took that long, so I'm going to really watch it. But my stove is old and it doesn't cook exactly like it should, but I'm going to be really cautious of that. And again, with the 2 bags of spinach, you could probably use fresh spinach if you want to use the frozen, and make sure you get all the moisture drained out of it because it is full. It took me about an hour and a half to get all the moisture squeezed out. This is 2 bags of it, and I have 1 can, the 12-ounce can of evaporated milk here. I have packaged Italian cheese and Parmesan cheese, and I have some half and half, or you can use milk or probably diluted whipping cream, whatever you've got, if we need to dip in this out. So anyway, I'm going to take this like this, and it's all soft and loose and everything in here now. And I'm going to take and slowly add this cream. It's on medium. I'm going to put this in here, and the evaporated milk. And I'm going to slowly add the cheeses because I don't want them to, cake up on me. I'm going to drop that spinach in it, and I want to make sure I get this all blended very well. I've never made this before. Like I said, it's a friend of mine. Her name is Mrs. T, and she said this is really good, and she uses it at a lot of around holidays and stuff, and you can double the batch, but she said it's just a big win for a lot of people like it. There's usually nothing left. And like I said, you can use more, and you are going to add your bacon back in there. And if you don't want to use that much bacon, you don't have to. If you got, I don't mind, if you got bacon grease that's been strained that you got, and you've only got like a half a pound of bacon or something, I don't know why I wouldn't think that would make any difference in the world on that, doing that. Like that. You wouldn't have to use a full 12 to 16 ounce package. Just depends on how much you want. And this seems to be actually getting there pretty good. It's on 6, so I'm going to do like she said. She said probably needs some half and half or something to thin this with, so because it's pretty thick here. And I got to put the spinach in, but I wanted to make sure this wasn't gonna, the cream wasn't gonna seize up on me. Because sometimes with new dishes, that's can be some of the things you run in. The main thing with this is just your prep. Doing your bacon, saving the grease, and doing your onions and your mushrooms and garlic, getting that all ready, and squeezing your spinach out. So That is the main prep one. Let me get a spoon and see how this is doing. I'm gonna taste. I'm just curious to see what it tastes like before the spinach even gets in. It sounds like it's pretty good. I'm gonna taste this, and it is really cheesy. Oh, that's definitely good. It's gonna be really great. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this spinach in here. Now there is a tiny bit of moisture because you can't get every little drop out. So but just get it, like I said, it got down to where the last time I tested it, it only had, I couldn't even get a tablespoon out of it. So that's pretty, squeezed out pretty good. And I did make the Jello up. Like I said, I used half a cup of boiling water, hot water, and I took a 4-ounce package of lime gelatin. You can use any flavor you want. And I mixed that for a good 2 minutes with the whisk. So I made sure it was all dissolved because that's what it says to do. You don't want that thick stuff that gets on the bottom of it at all. You don't want that. So that gel stuff. And then I took a package of cream cheese out and I finished softening it in the microwave. You can put it in a food processor or a blender, and you can blend that and take and add another half a cup of water, tap water or filtered water I use, and you can use, and then I use a cup of ice in it until that ice is all, make sure you don't hear any more of the ice clumping around. And just a small package, it calls for crushed pineapple. I use the chunks because I couldn't find any crushed at 2 different stores. They didn't have it. And this is really looking pretty good. Looks like this is really going to be a good dish. She's probably sold me on it. And I showed you the garlic press earlier in the video, so, and I got my grandmother's. Let me see what this is going to taste like. It is really cheesy and thick, too. And I'm going to put the bacon in. That's really good. It's very different. Get the bacon in here. Like I said, I'll go over the ingredients with you all for the cheese enchiladas when I do the ham salad and stuff on Wednesday, I believe it is, so whenever the 10th is. This is pretty thick, but it tastes great. It's really good. And I'll get that Jello out and show you. It should be set up enough. And this makes a pretty good batch. I mean, this is a pretty good, it's pretty heavy, and that's a pretty good batch of that. So, I mean, I think it's great for a side dish. Absolutely. Okay. So that, we've got that. The pork loin, I showed you what it looked like in the beginning. It's got to be in there another, I'm going to check it at about 5:15, which will mean it's been in there about an hour, but it said 35 to 45 minutes per pound. But I'm going to see, I don't want it to dry out, and I'm going to kind of baste a little bit with that apple juice. So let me get this Jello out real quick so I can show you what it looks like. And it's set up. So y'all can see, oh, of course it bumps the camera. Hold on a minute, guys. This is, see, it's almost set up. It needs to set just a little bit more, but this is what it will look like. And again, this is, you can use any flavor because it reminds me of lime sherbet with a little bit of pineapple in it, but you can use, they have an pineapple island Jello too. I used one time. That is really good. It's hard to find. But the main thing is to take, and this is just a small package. You can use the bigger ones and just double, you know, your stuff. And like I said, I took and dissolved the Jello in 4 ounces of hot water. I mean, a half cup hot water in a 4-ounce package of Jello. And make sure you stir it with a whisk for a couple of minutes, and it's good and dissolved because you're not adding any additional sugar or anything. And I already took out a package, an 8-ounce package of cream cheese. And I just went ahead and put it in a bowl and just zapped it in the microwave for about 45 seconds to get it nice and soft, because I didn't use a blender or food processor. I just used a whisk. And I got it all blended together. I stirred in another half a cup of just filtered water. And then I used a cup of ice in there. So that's your 2 cups of your liquid for your Jello, because you're going to need that for that small package, because you've got this 8-ounce package of cream cheese, and that's going to thicken your Jello a lot. And then I use a small 8-ounce, instead of crushed pineapple with the juice, don't drain it. And I use the tibbets because, yeah, not the chunks, I use it called the tibbets, but it needs to sit up, and then you can use it. It's got all kinds of little pretty cute bubbles in it too, kind of. But you cut it in just square pieces, and you can put, like I said, the whipping cream, or you can put sour cream on there. And so anyway, I walked you through this dish. I explained to you about the Jello and showed you that. Like I said, this is in here. It smells really good. I'm going to check it, like I said, about 5:15. I'm going to figure out how you can do, I think you have to be on YouTube. I'm on StreamYard, where you can stop your video and edit it and go back in and show like the different steps. I know there's one lady that had a cooking channel for a long time until she passed away, and she did it. She paused. I mean, they could go to the store or go run their errands and stuff and come back. She'd show you how the Jello or different desserts was set up, or she, like if she was frying things, like she would show you the what I just did with onion stuff, and then she'd show you that after they were sauteed, and then go and put them in steps. So a little bit different, but I'm not that tech savvy at this stuff yet, so you just have to kind of bear with me on that. And then, like I said, when we do the ham salad and stuff on the 13th, is it the 10th, then we do the cheese enchiladas and the sides. I will do it step by step, and it sounds complicated. It's not, and I think you all really enjoy it. And like I said, the ham salad, the macaroni salad, the bean salad, and maybe that pretzel cream cheese strawberry dessert salad. I'm thinking about just doing those. And if you want to cook along with me, like I said, you can go ahead and have your ham chopped up in a food processor or a food chopper thing, and have relish, mayonnaise, Dijon mustard for salt and pepper. You can go ahead and cook your macaroni off for your macaroni salad, and have whatever ingredients you want to put in there. I'm going to take also and hard boil a couple eggs to go in there. And then the pasta, of course, the cooked pasta, I'll go ahead and cook the pasta off. I will do that again. And like I said, chop the, have the ham all processed, and then just have all the other ingredients ready. And has, like I put some frozen peas in there at the end, and you can add celery, you can add green pepper, you can put whatever you want to in your macaroni salad, but I'm just going to walk you through how I do it. I have dry mustard I use in it. Of course, a little bit of sugar, and there's mayonnaise, there's apple cider vinegar. We're going to have vinegar and oil to use for the, I call it a 5-bean salad, but it's really not. It's your 1 can of red beans, a can of black beans, a can of pinto beans, and a can of cut green beans. You drain and rinse all of those. And then I either use some frozen corn or a can of whole kernel sweet corn that's been drained, or even if you can get a couple of ears, I've seen some corn on a cob here lately for like 28 cents for one. You can get one of those, they're pretty good size, and just use the fresh if you want to. And of course, it's going to have some pressed garlic, and it's got a little bit of chopped up onion in it. And then, like I said, the pretzel, we'll do the pretzel dish first. It's going to be crushed pretzels with, you know, for the crust, and it's baked a little bit cooled, and then we do the cream cheese layer. And then it sets up, and you also slice your strawberries, which you can do ahead of time, and get your Jello ready, and then we can put that in just so it starts to get really thick. Let me see, it looks like somebody's, okay. Well, it gets really thick, but you don't want it set. And when all those other layers, the cream cheese, you can't put it on until your pretzel crust is cool. And then you do the cream cheese, you let it set up and get cold. And while your strawberries and Jello is starting to get thick, and then you'll put that on thin and you let it set. It's usually to let it go 3 to 4 hours. And then you can put dollops of Cool Whip or fresh whipped cream, or like I said, sour cream with a little tiny bit of sugar and a, you know, teeny bit of vanilla in it. I mean, just whatever you got on hand or whatever you want to do on that. So that's what I'm going to do on that. But I will go over the ingredients and show you the kind of cheese I'm going to use for the enchiladas. And I'll show you the, like I said, if you get the corn tortillas, make sure you don't get, I do a lot of shopping at Walmart's, but I do not use their corn tortilla brand, the Great Value brand, because they fall apart and I don't care for that at all. But the sauce, enchilada sauce, is made from scratch. It takes a little bit, takes maybe about, I don't know, 20 minutes to make it. But while it's cooling, we're going to be frying the corn tortillas a little bit and getting them the oil out of them and stuff and getting them ready to be put in the enchilada sauce a little bit and then rolled. And I put 3 different cheeses. I use Mexican cheese, I use the sharp cheese, and I use cream cheese in them. And then I am going to make guacamole salad, not just guacamole this is actually going to have the chunks of avocado and onion and tomato in it. And it has a chili lime seasoning and a fresh lime in it. And anyway, I'm gonna make that with a little bit of pico de gallo, which will have cilantro. Oh, you need chicken broth or chicken bouillon cubes that you can dissolve and get ready for the homemade enchilada sauce. A little bit of tomato paste, and like I said, it's mainly chili powder, oregano. There's a little bit of cumin. There's a little bit of sugar. The tomato paste. There is garlic powder, onion powder. There's paprika. Like I said, there's the tomato paste and the bouillon. The chicken broth. And we're going to make a roux with 4 tablespoons of butter and 4 tablespoons of flour, because that's going to be, you let that and you cook it till it's kind of a light brown color. I'll walk you through all of this, and you gradually put your spices in and let them, it's almost like you let them get the taste in that flour and butter. But it's really a good recipe. It's not overly spicy. It's not hot. It's just a very good recipe. And everybody that's ever tasted them, they like it. So anyway, that's what I have for you all today. Let me know if you're trying any of these recipes, how you're doing on them. And then I am going to do, the next thing I'm thinking about doing is some tequila lime chicken, which you marinate. I'll explain that all to you all too, maybe when we do the cheese enchiladas. Probably do some, I'm not sure, maybe a rice dish with that. Oh, and with I know what it was with the ham salad. I was going to make a small thing of fried rice, because somebody had asked me about fried rice, and I made, like I said, I made the video and it didn't turn out right when I first made the meatloaf and potato salad. So I haven't attempted to make it again, but I will make that and do that because I've been promising that. So I even made some copycat Starbucks banana nut bread this last week, and it was really good. I found a different buttermilk biscuit recipe that I'm really impressed with, and we'll do those again because they got, like way up through this high, and they were really, really good. So I'm impressed more with them than the other recipe I've been using for a while. So anyway, I hope you all have a good evening. I'll see you again. I have it scheduled. Is it for the 10th? Let me see, today's 7th. Yeah, I think it's for Wednesday. And then the next one, of course, cheese enchiladas is scheduled for that Saturday or Sunday. And then we'll get in. I'm going to do at least 2 a week when it cools off. We get in holidays. I maybe will do 3 a week and try to show you some different side items and breads and candies and stuff like that. But we'll just take it from there. Dressings, just different things. So anyway, you all have a good day, and enjoy your cooking, because I do. And enjoy your family, and everybody take care and be safe. And I will see you all on Wednesday. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you all. Bye-bye.